everyone. This is lesson 7 and we are talking about our A string today. So before we jump into the A string, let's review really quickly. Last week we talked about bar lines and measures. So do you remember that when the line goes from the top of the staff to the bottom, we call it a bar line, and 2 bar lines, the space in between, creates a measure, okay? Inside those measures, we put our notes and our beats. And the time signature, which is at the front of the piece, we'll have the clef. Let's do an alto clef. We have the clef and then the time signature. Do you remember when we have a 4 on the bottom? What does that mean? If you said that a 4 on the bottom means the quarter note gets 1 beat, then you are right. So this means 4 quarter notes in every measure, or 4 quarter notes worth, okay? If it has 2 half notes, we add those together and those equal 4 quarter notes. If there's just a whole note, that equals 4 quarter notes. So in 4 time, 4 quarter notes worth in every measure, okay? Or 4 beats. And the quarter note gets 1 beat. Okay, so today we are talking about our A string and then the notes on the staff. So open A for treble clef, okay? So for violins, we're talking about A string. Violas and cellos, we're getting to you, and we're going to talk about D string for you today. So open A, the second space. So remember, space 1, space 2. Hey, it's second space A. So you can kind of remember that. It's a little rhyme. Hey, second space A. And that is open A. So when you see a quarter note, a half note, or a whole note in the second space, you will play A, okay? Or you'll write the letter A. On your theory pages, you would write the letter A. Okay, when we step up from A, so think about it in the music alphabet. If we step up, A, step up, B. So the same thing is true on our fingerboard. Open A, put your first finger down, and the sound goes up. So the letter goes up. First finger on the A string is the letter B. Now on the staff, we're going to step up to the very next line. And right here, the middle line is B. Okay, so we went from A, step up, to B. So open A, step up, first finger, and that's B. Now, second finger. If we step up in the music alphabet, A, B, C. Now when we step up on our fingerboard, A, first finger, B, second finger, we call that C sharp. I know it might look like a hashtag, but it's not, okay? We just say C sharp. And the weird thing is we draw the sharp first. So it almost looks like sharp C, okay? A, B, C sharp. Now when we write the letter, we say C sharp. I think of it as a tic-tac-toe board. You just draw 2 lines and 2 lines across, okay? When you're writing the note on the staff, draw a circle and then make that center of the circle be in the same space as C. What space does C live in? 1, 2, 3. C sharp lives in space number 3. Okay, if we step up from C sharp, oops, I needed to keep that. Step up to A, B, C sharp, D. Okay, so we step up on our fingerboard. Open A, first finger, B, Second finger, C sharp. Third finger is D. Same thing on the staff. And notice it goes space, line, step up to the next space, and now we're at the next line. Which line is this? Let's count from the bottom to figure out what line D is on. 1, 2, 3, 4. D is on line 4. Remember, you always have to count up from the bottom. We go up. Okay, so that's D. A, B, C sharp, D, and then we have one more finger, our very little finger here, fourth finger. So, say the letters with me. A, B, C sharp, D. Who comes next? E, okay? And on our fingerboard, A, first finger, B, second finger, C sharp, third finger, D, fourth finger is E. And E, just like on this, we're stepping up on the fingerboard and in the staff, it's the next space up. A, B, C sharp, D, E. So on your paper this week, on your worksheets, you're going to be drawing all of these notes on the staff, and you're going to have to draw a treble clef and then draw the note and see where it is on the fingerboard, okay? The very end of your worksheet this week, on page number 24, you're going to draw all of the notes in your fingerboard. Write the letters in those circles of what note goes with what finger. And then draw all 5 of them, just A, B, C sharp, D, E, on that top staff. Then we have 3 tempos that we're going to talk about. Tempo in music is speed. So if we played Twinkle Twinkle at tempo, the tempo prestissimo, that means we're going to play it very, very fast, okay? We could also play Twinkle at the tempo moderato, which would be moderately. Then we could play Twinkle at the tempo largo, which is very slowly. On your worksheet, there's an animal that I gave you prestissimo, which means very fast. Anytime we say issimo, it means very, okay? Prestissimo, moderato, and largo. Which animal do you think represents prestissimo? Which one is moderato and which one is largo? All of those are Italian words. We use, just like for dynamics, forte, piano, mezzo forte, mezzo piano, we use Italian words. We use Italian words for this too, okay? Violas and cellos, you have that on your paper at the end of your paper as well. Violins, that's it for you. You can turn the video off now. Violas and cellos, let's talk about your D string. So, violas. Here's your alto clef. Line, line, and the alto clef. Okay, so the very center line we've talked about is C, because sometimes we call it the C clef. So open D is in space 3. You can remember that by that because it kind of rhymes. Open D is in space 3. Open D is in space 3, okay? So that's your open D string. When you see a note in space 3, whether it's a half note, a whole note, oops, did you see what I did? I did the stem the wrong way. Okay, open, you could have a quarter note, a half note, or a whole note. If it's in space 3, it is a D, okay? And you're gonna play your open D string. Okay, what if we were gonna step up on the fingerboard? So, or even in the alphabet. Let's start with the alphabet. D, what note comes after D going up? So if you're like me, you have to start at A. We have to go A, B, C, D, E. Okay, so on our fingerboard D, put your first finger down on the D string, and it is E. Okay? Step up on the staff. Here's D. Step up to the very next line. Don't skip a line or don't skip a space. And on line number 4 is E. Okay? Now, who comes next? D, A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay, so think about your D string. Open D, no fingers. First finger, E. Second finger, F sharp. So just like the violins had C sharp, you're going to draw a sharp right in front of the note. On the staff, the sharp always comes first. When we write the letter, it comes second. And no, it's not a hashtag. It's a sharp. And it's 2 lines across, 2 lines going the other way. Kind of like tic-tac-toe. This center box right here goes on the same space or the same line as the note. So make sure when you draw your sharp that the center box is right next to the note. So we have D, E, F sharp, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So think about your fingerboard. D, no fingers. First finger, E. Second finger, F sharp. Third finger, G. Same thing on the staff. Step up from the 4th space, and now we go to line number 5, G. D, E, F sharp, G. Now I'm running out of space, so let's move these dudes over. D, E, F sharp, G. Who comes after G? If you said H, you've got to go back to the beginning. Just kidding. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and we start over. A, okay? So, think about it on your fingerboard. D, no fingers. E, first finger. F sharp, second finger. Third finger is G. Fourth finger is A. And A sits on the top. It's like he's looking down over all of the rest of them. He's just sitting up there. No line or anything through him. He's just sitting on top of the staff. And that is A. So we have D in the 3rd space. Remember, it's space 3 is D. Step up to the next line, E. Step up, F sharp, step up, G, and then sitting on top, A. You're going to do the same thing. You've got to draw an alto clef on each one of the staff by each note, and then draw in your notes. On the very last page, you're going to draw each of them just like I did. D, E, F sharp, G, A. Then you have your fingerboard. It's sideways, okay? Look at where the letters are. C is on the very bottom. So then write in the D string notes in those circles. Then if you skipped ahead to the viola section, scoot back to right before I start the viola section to learn about the tempos, okay? Cellos. Violas, you're all done. You can turn the video off. Cellos, last but not least. Here's your bass clef. D string for you. We have our big button and then a top button and bottom button. Okay, D string. So D is on line 3 for you. Line 3 is D. Yours kind of rhymes too. Line 3 is D. The violas were space 3. You guys are line 3. This is your D string. No fingers. If you see any notes on this middle line right here, you're going to play open D. Now, if we step up from D in the alphabet, A, B, C, D, step up, E, okay? Think about it on your fingerboard. D, put your first finger down on the D string. What note is that? That's E, D, E. Okay, so we're gonna step up, just like we put a finger down, we're gonna step up to space 3, and that is E. D, then E. Okay, what comes after D and E? A, B, C, D, E, F. So think about it on your fingerboard. D, open D, first finger, E, then put third finger down, F, sharp. So you guys have to draw a sharp right here on line 4. That is F sharp. Now here's the kind of cool thing, cellos. We said that that's F sharp. Look, there's a big dot on the bass clef that's on line 4. Line 4. This is why we sometimes call this the F clef, okay? Because it's showing us, that big dot right there is showing us that that is line F, your third finger on the D string, okay? So remember, the sharp goes in front of the note, but when you write the letter, it's F sharp. A sharp is just 2 lines side by side, 2 lines across. Make sure that this center box is on the line, because this is a line note, and it has to be on the same line as F. Okay, who comes after F sharp? A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So, think about it on your fingerboard. D, no fingers, first finger, E, third finger, F sharp, fourth finger is G. And G steps up to the very next space, the top space, or space 4. So D, E, F sharp, G. These are your D string notes. All of the notes here on the staff are the notes that you would play on the D string, okay? I know you have an open G string, but this is an open G string because it's stepping up. This is third finger on, or fourth finger on the D string. Okay, same thing for you guys. You're gonna draw bass clefs, and then you're gonna draw each line. Practice drawing those notes. On the very last page, you're gonna draw a bass clef for number 6, and then draw all of your D string notes going up. Then on the fingerboard, I should have put that fingerboard going up and down for you. So if you need to turn your paper so that the fingerboard is going up and down, you can do that. This may not make sense, so just turn your paper this way so that you can see the fingerboard going up and down, okay? And then I talk with you, if you guys need to back up the video to hear at the very end of the violin section about the tempos, you can do that as well. Have a great week, and I will see you guys next week.